A Doppler weather radar is a simple but powerful tool that meteorologists use to visualize precipitation and wind patterns. Now, by precipitation, I mean anything that falls from the sky in the form of rain, sleet, freezing rain, hail, and snow. Now, the way it works is a rotating dish known as an antenna sends out a burst of electromagnetic radiation and then waits to see if there's a return echo. Based on the strength of the return and the time it takes to come back, the radar can determine the placement and intensity of precipitation. A Doppler radar can also detect motion within areas of precipitation, giving us an idea of what the wind is doing. While the state of New York is serviced by 6 National Weather Service Doppler radars, only 3 of those provide any level of coverage here for Rochester and into the Finger Lakes. Unfortunately, that coverage is not great for most of our area. For Rochester, we rely on the Doppler radar out of Buffalo, which serves Erie County with excellent radar coverage. However, the further away from the radar site that you get, the worse the coverage becomes.
Once you get farther from the radar, the beam gets off the ground, and so everything below that we can't see from the perspective of the radar at the Weather Service office.
The problem is that because of the curvature of the Earth, the radar beam, which is what detects the rain and snow, moves up in the atmosphere the further away from the radar source that you go. By the time that beam from Buffalo reaches Monroe County, it is hitting somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 feet above the ground.
In the case of this area, we're on the order of 3/4 of a mile off the ground.
While this might be okay for capturing heavy rain showers, it misses other things completely, such as snowfall and also low-level wind events like microbursts and even tornadoes. As bad as our coverage is here in Rochester, it is even worse for Wayne County and into the Finger Lakes, with nearly half of our viewing area being covered by a radar beam that is at 5,000 feet off the ground or higher. In my opinion, this is unacceptable, and our viewers deserve better coverage than that. Fortunately, News 10 NBC has a solution. Introducing our First Alert Doppler 10 radar, located 130 feet up over western Monroe County, our Doppler has the ability to see what the National Weather Service radars will miss for Rochester and for much of the Finger Lakes. Instead of a beam scanning the sky between 4,000 and 5,000 feet, our First Alert Doppler radar will see our weather at about 450 feet over the city of Rochester. This will make a huge difference when lake effect bands of snow develops along that 104 corridor. We will actually be able to detect the location and, more importantly, track its movement, giving our viewers advanced notice. This will also mean that during times of severe weather, our First Alert Doppler radar will have the greatest chance of catching dangerous low-level thunderstorm winds or even the development of a tornado. And I know that's a difference we can all appreciate. Up next, Rich Cornelia takes you back 20 years ago today when the most powerful windstorm ever struck portions of western New York. How the First Alert Doppler 10 radar will help keep us better prepared when a storm like that strikes again.
Hey Rochester, I'm Al Roker, and today's a big day. The First Alert Doppler 10 radar, a huge deal in your neck of the woods. Jeremy and his First Alert team now have the exclusive tools in their back pocket to see inside storms developing in your backyard. For forecasting Rochester's weather, this is a game changer. I'm thrilled to help launch the area's only live local radar. News 10 NBC, First Alert Doppler 10.